Grand Rising winners. Every day is beautiful. Every day is a holiday. I am MaVen Gray, the Wavy Trap God, aka Motivational MaVen, aka your grilled out guru. And if you by chance like any of this content, if you are messing with the content, please like, please share, and please subscribe. All right, let's get into it. All right. So first of all, I just wanted to apologize to everybody for the ring on my glasses. I'm using my ring light, and I really didn't know how to get the ring out of my glasses. So if you got any solutions to that, please comment below, and let me know, because I am a beginner. I am a noob at this. And so anything that y'all have, any information or anything, the way that I can make this better, please let me know. All right. All right. So over the years, I have encountered a lot of different people from a lot of different backgrounds, from a lot of different life situations. And there was something that I noticed that was almost correlated to every single person. And this is me in a nutshell at this place in my life right now. It's something called self-perception or self-image. Okay? Self-image is the way that you see yourself, okay? The way that you see yourself is the same exact way you're going to see everyone else. You're going to see life that way as well, okay? A lot of this comes from conditioning, from a kid, from a child. The people that raised you, a lot of these things are programmed into us at an early age, and we don't realize it, but a lot of these self-images are painted. That picture is painted by the people that raised us. Okay, that's why you have so many people that comes from wealthy homes, are normally wealthy. A lot of the times they are, or a lot of people that come from a lot of poverty-stricken homes. They're normally poverty-stricken. So self-image is something that's so important that you cannot get past it. Okay? It is something that you cannot get past because it is the way that you see yourself. Okay? For myself, as an example, I was raised almost in this a very religious home where I didn't realize it at the time, but I was almost being programmed to be like that. I hate to say it this way, but that overweight, nice, gentle, loving, church-going man that go to church every Sunday, was Bible thumping, going from home to home, telling people about the gospel, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't realize it that wasn't my picture of life. That picture was given to me by everybody that was a part of raising me and my upbringing. So once I started to realize that, it was very eye-opening. But then I started to realize too that how difficult it can be to change it as well. And I learned that, but before I go into that, I have a way of explaining this where, and it actually came to me in a dream. So thank you, Creator. Or God, or however you resonate with God. But it was actually in a dream, and I'm gonna have fun with this, and I hope y'all enjoy it as well. So the way I'm going to explain this is from the story of Thomas Anderson from The Matrix. Okay, when Thomas Anderson in the movie, if you've seen the Matrix movie, he was a person that was highly gifted. In programming computers, all in the digital world and all of those in that type of realm of technology. But he always felt like there was something more, which I feel like a lot of us that have been on this journey or that have been searching for this journey to start it, that we've all felt the same exact way, that like there's more to the world than more than what we're seeing. And so as he started to search for those answers started to come. Okay? So we're going to fast forward to the part where they were actually freeing him out of the matrix. Okay. When he got freed from the matrix, I don't know if y'all remember, but as soon as he came out of the matrix and the first time he was jacked in, his image of himself, which is his self-image of how he looked in the matrix, was, just a jacket on, a normal shirt, jeans, and some shoes, very typical haircut, just very down to earth and basic. Okay. As you notice that his progression, as he started to accepting more and more the possibility of him being the one, he started to see himself different. Okay. He started to wear more badass clothes, especially in the scene where they're actually going and saving Morpheus, him and Trinity. And you start to see that there is a whole persona start to change within himself. So the way that he's seeing himself started to change. So also that image that he was seeing started to change. His perception was changing the more he started to believe in, you could say, his oneness with God as the one. Okay. But what it really was him correlating within the inner being of himself and saying, what I'm feeling is true. The more I believe it, the more and more that my circumstances have to change to the way that I see myself. Okay? Now, fast forward more. Okay? Now we're at the end of the Matrix, almost to the end of the first Matrix. And he actually gets killed. Okay? You know what? Before I get to that part, the point that another point that I didn't want to forget was that when he dodged bullets. Okay, when he started to dodge the bullets, that was an absolute show to himself that I'm starting to believe enough where now reality is starting to have to bend to me. Okay, at that point, even Trinity, I remember, said, you move like they do. Okay, that was even her, an outsider, seeing him and saying, hold on, you're doing something that technically is supposed to be impossible. How are you able to do that? Okay, all right. So moving past that, now we're at the point where Neo is at the end where he opens up the doorway and Agent Smith shoots him and basically kills that persona. Okay, it kills that version of his thinking of himself. Okay. When he came back, though, when he came back, there was an absolute realization of, I am a God. I am the one. Okay? Me and God are one. So now I'm awake. So now I'm seeing the world the way that it really is. Like when he saw his vision was all in the Matrix lettering. It was in nothing but the Matrix. Okay? He didn't see things the way that he used to see them, as what we would call reality. He was seeing it in its true form, what it really is, and how it can be manipulated. Okay. Also, when the agent started to shoot at him as soon as he got up, notice this. He spoke as in a definiteness. He just said no. When he said no, there was no please stop. It wasn't any of, it was no insecurities. I mean, even in his speech, it was just in his actions. No. When he said no, he spoke with a definiteness of purpose that these bullets have to stop because I am the one. I am one with God. Okay? So after that, we remember all of the other parts in the movie and everything. But at the very end of the movie, he's talking on the phone and then he flies away. Okay? Now, I want y'all to notice that when he flew away, he was dressed in a certain type of clothing. Okay? The way that he was dressed when he flew away is the same exact way that he was dressed in the second Matrix, which I believe it was Matrix Reloaded. Okay? Now, if y'all look at the way that he's dressed that way because that was the way he envisioned himself as a God, as the one. Okay? The way that he fought, he was fighting enemies that was supposed to be, that people until him was running from. Okay, you could say that's the circumstances in our lives that people have in previous generations have ran from. Okay, but look at how he just fought them, because there was an absolute faith and belief in himself that I am the one, I am one with God, I am a God, and I don't care what your power is, I can adapt to it because I'm more powerful than you are. Okay, so when I started to look at that, it was a totally different way of seeing self-image and self-perception, because I still deal with this even in my life, because I'm still fighting that image that was programmed, that overweight, God-fearing man. And I'm gonna say this too: I don't believe we should fear God. And the reason why I say that is because if we're one with God, then that's fear. Fear is not a characteristic that a God carries. A God does not carry fear. Okay? You look at majority of the world is acting and reacting out of fear daily. I mean, we watch Instagram videos on social media, and it's not all of somebody getting shot at or something, and our heart starts pounding like it's happening to us, because our brains does not know the difference between reality or what we would classify as a dream. That's why when we have a dream and we wake up from it, and there might have been somebody chasing us with a knife or trying to kill us in a dream, we wake up with our heart pounding like it really happened. Well, to the brain it did. So we have to start understanding that we are very, very complex beings. And by us being this type of being, we have been using our powers against us, okay, against ourselves. We have been self-sabotaging our life because of this conditioning, because of this self-image, which is self-perception, okay? Now, I will say this: to change self-perception is very difficult, okay? The reason why it's so difficult is because the same reason why we don't have to learn to walk every time we want to walk, okay? Now, I want y'all to think about this. There's things in our brain that holds on to certain information from a kid, from a child. Why? So, certain things, our bodily functions are just normal. It just normally happens. Like, we know that, hey, when I'm moving my right arm, okay, my brain is sending signals to my arm to move a certain way that I'm telling it to, okay? The same way as right now, I can get up, or you can get up from where you're watching this from and go and walk to the bathroom. You don't have to relearn how to walk every time you want to walk, okay? That's because there are certain things in our brains that have made it so where we don't have to learn functionalities for survival every single time we need to express them. So there's so many different ways that there's a couple of different ways we can change our self-perception. As an adult, one of the greatest ways is through repetition. Okay. Constantly telling yourself certain things every day. Also having a vision board, right? Taking cutouts of whatever it is, if it's your body, or it's a certain financial amount. Write it down where you can see it every day, okay? And you affirm what you are every day. I have, this much money in my account, and your account number, or the last four of your account, or your card number, or however you want to do that. But repetition is extremely powerful because that's how we've learned this behavior anyway. So a lot of the times, this is the most effective way, especially as an adult, to break certain ways of thinking, which is repetitiously. So self-perception is something that is so valuable that we cannot get past it. Now, this is the thing about self-perception, okay? It doesn't matter how successful you become. It doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter how much weight you lose, okay? You will always be faced with how you perceive yourself. And this is the drawback to it, okay? It's the same reason why you have people that are extremely wealthy or have done it. I mean, things that we be like, dude, I mean, how did this person even do this? There was something that drove them for a certain amount of time, a certain amount of space from where they were and the way that they seen themselves and where they were trying to go. So there was a goal that was met. Once that goal was met, the mind always has to go back to look for it. I still see myself this way. So because I still see myself this way, I have to go back to those old habits. So the perception always is looking for that familiar place. And so this is why a lot of the times we see people in very destructive relationships with people, and we're like, dude, okay, why are you with that person? Like, why are you still talking to that person? That person's not good for you. They're mean. They're very unkind. They're disrespectful. All of these different characteristics. If we look at it in our life, we'll see that we have some of the same tendencies in other areas in our lives. So the thing is, so we could be in a relationship, right? That person's not good. We say, you know what? I've had enough. I'm done. Okay? You break up with that person's gone out of your life, you know, a year. Okay? Maybe a couple months. Maybe not even that long. A month. Then all of a sudden, you're like, man, I wonder what such and such doing. I wonder why this, and this. And you be like, nah, man, but look at all of the stuff that, you know, she put me through or he put me through or so on and so forth. Why do we do that? Because the brain is programmed to look for familiarity. And familiarity is a comfort. So that's why you see people stuck in a familiar hell. Okay? A familiar hell instead of an unfamiliar heaven. Because of self-perception. So I just want to take the time to tell everyone and ask everyone to ask yourself, what is your perception of you? How do you see you? And that will tell you everything you need to know. So I just want to say thank you, everyone, for giving me some of the most valuable thing you have, which is your time. And always remember to love yourself more than anyone. Why? Because you are the most important person in this universe. Why? Because you are the only person having your experience. I love all of you. Have a great day. So, I just was thinking of something. And what if all of us are Neo? What if every single person on this planet is Neo, and our whole life or simulation or however you want to explain it is us seeing if we're going to see if we are the one or we're not. Just a little food for thought. What if you're Neo? Do you know Kung Fu?